Hello, 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 my lovelies. How's everybody doing today? Great, I hope. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. This is episode 2 of the Occult series. We're going to talk about the Yazidis. I don't know if some of you have heard of them or not, but that will be the topic for today. A couple announcements. If you haven't checked out the Misfits podcast yet, um, that is the place to find where we just shoot the shit, talk about whatever topics we want to talk about. The first 2 episodes I've done with Grim Soul Taker. Some of you may remember him, some of you not. He does have a channel on YouTube if you care to check him out. I do have 2 other guests lined up. I don't know when they'll be on the Misfits podcast, but they are lined up and have given the green light okay that they will appear. If you are interested in being on the Misfits podcast, send me an email. Let me know. Basically, it's just a place for the randomness of us that aren't in necessarily cliques and groups in certain communities to just get together, shoot the shit, have some laughs, talk about some topics, whether it be cooking, movies, occult, religious things, sex, dating, you name it. It's all topics are open on that platform. We're just a bunch of misfits getting together, sitting around a table and shooting the shit. So now, another thing, I do have Cash App, I do have PayPal. All donations are welcome. They help me with buying essentials. I don't have a lot of money. I am on temporary disability. I do have 2 Amazon public lists. You can find them in my community tab on my page. One's for essentials and one's just for random stuff that I like. If you care to contribute to the stream that way or care to contribute to me. If you're new here, hi, my name is Lakaya. I am a double amputee, recently a double amputee, and I'm living life to the fullest. Now, let's get into the Yazidi. Yazidis are members of a Kurdish religious minority found primarily in northern Iraq, southeastern Turkey, northern Syria, and the Caucasus region, and part of Iran. The religion includes elements of ancient Iranian religions, as well as elements of Judaism, Nestorian Christianity, and Islam. Although scattered, numbering probably between 200,000 and 1 million, the Yazidis have a well-organized society with the chief sheikh and the supreme religious head, prince, as the secular head. A distinct Yazidi community living in the environs of Mosul, excuse me, if I mispronounce these, I'm very sorry, appears in historical sources as early as the middle of the 12th century. The geographic spread and political power of the Yazidis continued to increase into the 13th and 14th centuries, while their belief systems continued to develop away from Islamic norms. By the early 15th century, surrounding Muslim rulers had began to view them as apostates and rivals of the political power, and clashes ensued. As the power of the Yazidis waned, their numbers were reduced by massacres and conversions, both voluntarily and forced. The late 19th century and early 20th century saw significant numbers flee the Caucasus to avoid persecution. Most of the Yazidis community in Turkey immigrated to Germany in the second half of the 20th century. Yazidi mythology say that they were created quite separately from the rest of humankind, being descended from Adam, but not from Eve, and as such, they seek to keep themselves segregated from the people among whom they live. Marriage outside of the community is forbidden. Yazidi beliefs hold that a supreme creator God made the world and then ended his involvement with it, leaving it in control of 7 divine beings. The chief divine being Malak Taus, a peacock angel, who is worshipped in the form of a peacock. Malak has often been identified by outsiders with the Judeo-Christian figure of Satan, causing the Yazidis to be inaccurately described as devil worshippers. One important role in the Yazidi worship is played by bronze or iron effigies, which are and were circulated from town to town. Tradition held that they were originally 7. It is thought that only two, at least, still exist. Hello, Elo Nico Nightmare. Good to see you. The breaking of divine laws is exacerbated by ways of metapsychosis and transmigration of souls, which allows for the progressive purification of the spirit. The chief Yazidi saint is believed to have achieved divinity through metamorphosis. Heaven and hell are also included in Yazidi mythology. The Yazidi belief system is highly concerned with religious purity, and so Yazidis follow a multiplicity of taboos governing aspects of daily life. A variety of foods are forbidden, as is blue clothing. The word Satan is not pronounced, and any word that is derived or even sounds like the word Satan is prohibited. Contact with the outside is discouraged, and for that reason, Yazidis have in the past sought to avoid military service, formal education, and a strict caste system is observed. The Book of Revelation is the title of a Kurdish book, which is assumed to be one of their two sacred books of the Yazidis, the other being the Yazidi Black Book. Rituals. Children are baptized with consecrated water by a priest. At weddings, he breaks bread and gives one half to the bride and the other to the groom. The bride, dressed in red, visits Christian churches. In December, Yazidis fast for 3 days before drinking wine with the priest. On August the 3rd, 2014, ISIS militants launched a genocide against the Yazidi community in northern Iraq. This led to the death and disappearance of thousands of Yazidis. Yazidi men who refused to convert to Islam were either executed and left in mass graves, or they fled. An estimated 7,000 Yazidi women and girls, some as young as 9, were enslaved and forcibly transferred to locations in Iraq and eastern Syria. Held in sexual slavery, survivors reported being repeatedly sold, gifted, or passed around among ISIS fighters. More than 3,000 women and children are still missing to this day. After the Yazidi genocide, most survivors feel that they have been forgotten. Hundreds of thousands of Yazidis commonly live in displacement camps or in informal settlements. They are exposed to extreme weather conditions, and the challenges of inadequate water and sanitation infrastructure continue to persist to this day. Now, I know some of you may have heard of the Yazidis. The way I spelled it is one way to spell it. There are several ways to spell the Yazidis. This information came back from the Britannica, but you can also find information about them on Wikipedia. And there's several other websites that you can find information on the Yazidis about. This is just a simple summary that I've done of them, so that you may, if you're interested, you may find it a little bit more readily available to find more information about them. I also want to apologize for any background noise that you may hear. But this episode number 2 of the Occult series, I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't checked out series number 1, it's on Alice Ann Bailey. And the next one will be on Mr. Carl Jung. So with that being said, lovelies, I hope you have a wonderful day. See you later.